What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Today, I'm going to break down what happened in the markets this week, what happened on Friday. I'm going to tell you we're going to look at the VIX, we're going to look at oil. I'm going to give you the one stock I'm watching for next week, and we'll also preview what is happening next week. So with that, let's dig in. Everybody. So Friday was a pretty good day for the markets. Now, I thought we had a good shot at actually maybe even getting to 6,400 for the SPX, but unfortunately that did not happen. We closed 63.88, 64, but on the week, no one's going to complain about the week. We're up about 1.5%. So some pretty nice strength there. The Qs also had a pretty nice day and a pretty nice week, up closer to 2% on the week for the triple Q. Looking at the Russell 2000, after a pretty rough day on Thursday, opened down, and then look at the strength at the end of the day. It actually ended up on the day after being down most of it. I really continue to like the Russell 2000 for the next few weeks. If the market is really going to boom, the Russell is going to lead us. I think Friday's action points toward some positioning into the Russell 2000. I'm looking for it to go to 240 in the next few weeks. That is my target. Now, on the week, we did have a nice set of earnings. Google, got rewarded for spending and closed the week up despite not, the earnings weren't bad, but they just weren't spectacular. Tesla, on the other hand, did not have such a great week. Big gap down on Thursday, did recover a little bit on Friday. That gets below 300. I think it's really an interesting buy. One thing I would point out, I'm going to stretch this out a little bit, is that options are the cheapest that we've seen in Tesla in over 6 months. If I go back a year, they're about as cheap as they get. So I'm going to be looking at, for a special situation on Monday, about trading some of these post-earnings plays. Tesla options, like I said, dirt cheap. One of the big earning that came out on Thursday was Intel. Intel got smacked. Why? They're reducing their investment. So they beat their numbers. But you know what? When you say, "Hey, we're pulling back," markets don't like it. They need to find a partner for their foundry. They do that, they're off to the races. But until that, this stock is just going to flounder. Looking ahead to next week, we have a ton of earnings. On Wednesday, it's the M's, and on Thursdays, it's the A's. So what do I mean by that? We have Meta on Wednesday. We have Microsoft on Wednesday as well. On Thursday, Amazon and Apple. So we've got a huge week for earnings. What's interesting is that those four earnings also coincide with the Fed meeting that is happening on Thursday as well, with a Powell press conference. So there is going to be some action. In terms of economic data, next week we do get non-farm payrolls as well on August 1st. We have core PCE, we have GDP. Next week is going to be absolutely packed. It's going to be an exciting week to trade, a fun week to trade. You're going to want to be involved. Now, what kind of fireworks to expect? Maybe not that much. I told you a couple weeks back I was looking for the VIX to get back below 15. It did that on Friday. The VIX is now 1496. My futures term structure, I could drive a truck through this thing. The front month future expiring on the 20th is 1790. VIX is all the way 1493. Now, coming off the weekend, that'll close up a little bit, but there is huge opportunity in playing the volatility index right now. So the stock I want to highlight is KSS. Now, this is of Reddit squeeze fame. Had a just absolutely crazy week of trading. Starts to get a little bit of a rally, exploded on Tuesday, and then gave most of those back, was down more on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, kind of held in place. There will be some decisions made this week as to whether this Reddit play has legs or not. If you go back to GME, which was back in 2021, it played out a little differently. We had this, it really just went up, got a big pop, dropped, popped again, then came down and was back to where once it came. The fact that KSS has not been able to really hold any of these legs tells me that it might be short-lived. Another one of these names that is trading all crazy is Open Door Technologies. Kind of the same story, popped, dropped. If Open and KSS make another leg down, I'm talking Open back below 2, KSS back below 11, they're going to start to look like really interesting put plays, because that'll tell us that maybe the Redditors don't have the power that they did in GameStop, and they're not really able to hold it up, and the diamond hands don't really help. So those are the two names I'm watching really closely for next week, along with the market as a whole, with all those earnings: Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft, along with that Federal Reserve meeting. One other stock to keep an eye on is AMD. They report the following week, but this thing has been really strong and really hot. I'm going to be kind of watching to see whether some profit taking happens ahead of earnings. This Thursday, Hannah and I are going live, and she and I are going to kind of walk through why, one, short squeezes happen all the time. Two, you can usually see them coming ahead of time. And three, why the Redditor short is not really short squeeze is not really what's behind it. There's a mechanical function behind it. So you're not going to want to miss it. You can register here in this email. If you're watching me on YouTube, please like and subscribe, leave a question or a comment. I'd love to respond to you. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a great weekend. Happy birthday, Mom.